Welcome, done on Hip Hop Thursdays. It's the 19th of December 2024. Season's greetings to all. On behalf of our team. Voice of the one, Jordan, Antigua's own song called Double Dutch. Hey, hey, hey. Voice of the one, Jordan, Double Dutch. Whoop, whoop, whoop. First thing we're gonna do tonight is jump into some hip hop news. Then we're gonna get into some albums. Then we're gonna get into some battle rap. Then we're gonna finish off with Nas vs Jay Z, which is not your average Nas vs Jay Z discussion. Let me tell you. Yeah, come on. Hip Hop Thursdays, it's the 19th, of December. Season's greetings, people. Welcome, welcome. As you can see, if you were on the live yesterday, I switched back to my regular setup. Yeah, the live stream last night wasn't cutting it. Aldi fans, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Indeed, Antigua and Barbuda, the 268 right here. You're also listening to an artist from the 268. This is the voice of Jordan, spelled with an X instead of an O, and this song is called Double Dutch. Alright. Well, welcome people, welcome to the live, welcome to the live. We're not gonna hesitate, we're gonna jump right into the discussion. You know what I mean? And as I said before, the first thing we're gonna touch on is the news. Then we're gonna slide into some albums that are being released. Currently, as we're speaking, not released, being released already, but the numbers are starting to come in with the weekly sales. I've also listened to a few of them so I can give a little feedback. We can have a little discussion where that's concerned. And then we're going to move into some battle rap. The URL has a card coming up. And if you were following my show last week, you know I'm now part of the app gang with the URL. So I was able to see the announcements as they were released. The notifications started clicking on my phone. So we have a nice card coming up for Boxing Day. Respect to that, Andrew. Respect to that. Respect to that. Well, I'm definitely trying, bro. I'm trying. I'm on my way, you know. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so we can get this monetization going. But most importantly, Andre, I'm doing what I love. This is what I enjoy. You know what I mean? Music is part of my everyday life, my everyday routine. So therefore, I have two shows. Tonight is Hip Hop Thursday, and Wednesday nights is Wheel Up Wednesdays, where we discuss everything around dancehall, reggae, and sound clash culture. Hey Andrew, what's up? Big up to the UK, big up to London. That's my turf. Where in London you at? I used to live in London. I'm a West London guy. I used to live in Chiswick, to be exact. Edenza Gardens, the Valley. Big up to everybody in London. Checked in. And yeah, see, big up to Chelsea. As a matter of fact, special shout outs to you, Andrew. I have family in the UK, and unfortunately, because of the time zone being 5 hours ahead, most of the time they're unable to check in. So I'm glad to have you with me. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Big up to the UK, and hopefully Maybe sometime next year I could get over there, but if not, definitely 2026. I gotta get to the UK because most importantly, I need to check some of these rappers from the Pen Game League, you know? So that's what's up. But let's jump into some hip hop news. Let's start with, which is, there's not really much going on right now. Yeah, true. Big up, Andrew. Not much going on right now for the news. This is gonna be very brief, but we have Little Baby has finally opened up about his line on Kendrick's "Not Like Us." You know what I mean? And there was a line where he says, "Let me break it down for you. This is the real nigga challenge." And he says, "You call Future when you didn't see the club. Little Baby help you get your lingo up." Well, Little Baby has said, really and truly, he preferred no name calling and he preferred to be left out of the feud between Kendrick and Drake. That was an interview that he was doing. Let me make sure I quote this right. With Charlemagne the God. Yeah, definitely. Moving right along, we have Glorilla and Sexy Red may collaborate for an album or some kind of project. I'm not sure what exactly it is yet, but they've given a few hints across social media and an interview with Double XL that there's a possibility that both of them may collaborate for an album. As you know, they have quite a few songs and quite a few tracks together already, so we'll see where that goes. Moving right along, we have the Rock Nation, I should say, um, because of the accusations towards Jay Z right now, they are monitoring YouTube channels with a magnifying glass. Apparently, this is all according to a YouTuber by the name of Trent Out Loud, and he's saying that they're monitoring YouTube channels to make sure that people are not giving incorrect information in regards to the case, and therefore YouTubers, you got to be on the lookout for cease and desist that will be issued going forward by Rock Nation for people who loosely speak about the accusations that are being thrown towards Jay Z, right? So I ain't touching on that topic too much going forward. I mean, it is what it is. I try not to lament on too much negative things surrounding hip hop. If it's a current topic, of course I'm gonna address it. But if there's not too much interaction around that topic, I'm gonna move right along. You know what I mean? And we trying to keep it positive over here. There's lots of things we can discuss besides, for example, Remy Martin and Papoose. I mean, if you want more information on that, you can find it on other channels. But this channel is trying to be unique and discuss different topics, different ideas. For example, there's not many vlogs or videos or even forums discussing 20 hip hop songs with no chorus, but I have discussed that here. You know what I mean? So that's where we aim to go with it in terms of what we discuss on the channel. So it's not about too much drama and that kind of thing. Just quick hip hop news to keep you updated with what's going on in the space and what's going on in the culture, and then we keep it moving. So, Little Baby disclosed that he lost $9 million gambling over a 40-hour period. That's a lot of money, but most amazingly was he never stated where and how he lost this money. But it seems as though it was in casinos. He's known to gamble and have gambling friends such as Drake, Meek Mill, and James Harden have played all kind of different gambling. I don't know what to say because they weren't specific. They didn't say if it was slot machines or sports betting or whatever. But that's a lot of money for anybody to be losing in gambling. Of course, we had, this is the last news topic, and it stems right into our next topic, which is albums released and album sales. So Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre dropped their album, which people have been waiting for some time, called Missionary. and this is supposed to be a sequel to the 1993 Doggy Style album. I don't know. I've listened a bit of it, but I could tell you from the caliber of albums that are out there right now, it did come across kind of weak. The first two tracks, amazingly, are a minute, like a minute and 20, a minute and 50 seconds long, something like that. So the first two tracks on the album kind of come in like skits, like intros. Like, I don't think I'm speaking for everybody when I say everybody likes the album to just jump into the action right away. But judging from Kendrick's album, Ice Cube's album, I can see people, it's not the same. It's kind of slow to build up. But because of that, and I was kind of rushing to try and take it in before the show, I skipped right along to one of the tracks that I see catching people's attention, which is the one with 50 Cent and Eminem, Gunsmoke. That's a hard track. I like that one. But for the production side of things, I listened to the track with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre has lost his voice. We don't have that 2001 chronic sound and voice, and I think that's what people's looking for. Maybe that's the reason we haven't got detox, for like 10, 15 years now. We're still waiting for that to drop. But overall, I'll have to listen to the whole album to give a full, a fair analysis of it. But they moved 36,000 units in their first week. And let's move along. Kendrick in his first week moved 319,000 units. And that is the biggest rap album for the year. And it's the biggest debut for the year. Ice Cube dropped Man Down. I've been listening to that, and I can tell you I only skipped one song on that album. One single song. That album is fire to me. Unfortunately, he only sold 15,000 units in the first week. And lastly, Fat Joe released his album, The World Changed on Me. But the numbers ain't in for Fat Joe's album yet. We're still waiting. Probably by tomorrow or the day after, because it's about 6 days since the album was dropped, and I haven't skimmed through that one as yet either. So, just to give you an idea of Fat Joe's track history, we had his first album was released in 1993, that was Represent. He then had Jealous One's Envy in 1995. I think that was the one that brought him up. I could be wrong, but I think that's when everybody started to pay attention. And then 1998 we had Don Cartagena. 2001 we had Jealous One Still Envy. 2002 we had Loyalty. 2005 All or Nothing. 2006 Me, Myself and I. 2008 Elephant in the Room. 2009 Jealous One Still Envy 2. And 2010 Dark Side Volume 1. 2024 The World Changed on Me. That's the one that has been released about 6 days ago. Yeah? Alright. Let me just make sure I'm not missing nothing here. Just to break down, because you see Kendrick's album's been out a lot longer, so we have a lot more stats. Just to show you how they break down these album sales nowadays. There was 285,000 streaming units, 32,000 digital album sales, and 2,000 TEAs, which they call track equivalent albums. Now this part I'd have to break down to see exactly what they mean by that, but I guess that's how they compile that 319,000 units that Kendrick moved in the first week. So for Ice Cube's first week, the 15,000 units, I don't see a breakdown yet with that 15,000, but I would want to believe that it would also be broken down into streaming units, digital album sales, and track equivalent albums. So that's how they do their weekly sales. Now going forward, remember we don't have this anymore. There's nobody going in to buy a physical copy So how did they come about the weekly album sales number? Well, that's the breakdown. That's the three categories. And of course, when Kendrick's album dropped, it was number one on the Billboard charts. Let me see if I can see where Snoop is on the chart. Let's take a look at the Billboard charts and see what's up. Hopefully next week we will talk great. I've been told about another program. Last night I was trying to use StreamYard, but it was good. It was good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would love to use StreamYard, but I found it was a little pricey, especially for me right now. As my channel is not monetized, so there's not no money coming in here. So it's not like I can, get a little super chat here, a little super chat there to help pay for the subscription for the StreamYard. But one of the things that the StreamYard does have as an advantage is it allows me to invite guests. Now I'm sure you can do that on OBS, but it does look a little bit more difficult. OBS looks a bit more complex. StreamYard is definitely more user friendly, especially for me who's just getting into this streaming world. Not very technical. I can do the basics, but I'm not a particular techie guy, so it works well for me. But the price was a bit steep, so I decided to unsubscribe, so to speak, and remove that one. I made a few calls, and a friend of mine told me, OBS, try that one. So I downloaded it. I was playing around with it a bit today, and I was able to do a few things, but still have some hiccups and little things that I would need to iron out before I can present it on the channel. So I may have to consult someone to get some help where that's concerned. But if you're just joining, I'm looking to see the hip-hop albums rankings right now. There's some good albums out there. I'm looking to see what the Billboard has as number one, number two, etc., etc. Let's have a look here. If you're just joining for the first time as well, this is Hip Hop Thursdays, sponsored by TV. Alright, I can't get that information, so let's move right along. Can't keep the show going up. Alright, what next do we have on the list? We got some battle rap coming up, guys. We got the URL in their big outside card. This is going down on Boxing Day, December 26th. And bear in mind, the outside event, there's no pay-per-view, there's no tickets being sold, and Smack and Beasley have very smartly decided to only show this battle rap event on the URL app. So if you're not part of the app gang like I am, on Boxing Day, there's no way for you to watch that rap battle. Now, some people are unhappy with that, some people are happy. I guess there's mixed feelings around the way the URL is now conducting business, in terms of if you follow the URL or have been following the URL, you would know that there was a time where battles were absolutely free, where you could watch the battles on the Caffeine app. Well, it seems that that contract has expired with the URL, and since then, it's kind of been watch pay-per-view here, pay for the event there, or get it on the app. Well, it seems like this next upcoming event outside can only be accessed from the URL app. And who do we have on the lineup? So the first, how should I put it? The first battle that was announced, the first announcement, there we go, was Chess versus Lou Castro. That definitely is a nice battle. I'll be looking forward to watching that. And I was wondering, maybe if I got like another phone, and because I'm part of the app gang, probably listen. If I could listen to the audio and maybe have like a watch party live on YouTube. I wonder if they shut it down. I think they probably would for copyright. But it would be nice, because I think there are a few channels that review battles like that, but they probably section it up so that the copyright doesn't kick in. I don't know, but it's something I thought about, today. Like I wish I could play a battle like right now. Let's say Rum Nitty versus um oh man, that with Murder Mook T-Rex. Anyway, hey Jay, what's going on, Jay? I'm just talking about the outside card. So I was just saying Chess and Lou Castro is gonna face off. You know what I mean? And then we got T-Top versus Wusa. That's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. We got Arsenal versus Shuni the Rapper. We have Rum Nitty versus Eunice. And Chilla Jones versus O-Red. I want to believe there may be one or two more battles on this card. Maybe they haven't released everything yet, but I've been getting notifications on my phone maybe for like the last 48 hours, 72 hours in regards to battles. So I want to believe maybe there's one more, and probably the last one would be the best one. I would want to believe anyway. So we'll see what happens with the URL and that, because I'm looking forward to that card on Boxing Day. That's going to be interesting. But let's move on to Jay Z versus Nas. Alright, so as we all know, Jay Z and Nas have had their rivalry for many, many years, and I would like to start from the very beginning, looking at both artists. What they've achieved is not really in a competitive format like who is the best, but I just want to look at these two artists. And okay, let me keep it straight. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I honestly think Nas has out-rapped Jay Z over time. We're gonna take a look, album for album, right? We can look at sales too, but I'm more looking from the sense of artwork and what these artists have done over the years, right? So the first thing we notice is Nas dropped his first album, his debut album, Illmatic, one of my favorite hip-hop albums of all time. That was his very first album. It's also iconic because it only has 10 tracks for your first album. And it also is iconic because it was one of the few albums, which we're going to get to that received 5 mics from the source, the hip-hop Bible, right? So that's for Nas's debut to hip-hop. One moment, folks. There we go. And that was dropped in 1994. Jay Z's first album was Reasonable Doubt, and that was dropped in 1996. So there was a 2-year gap between Nas's first album and Jay Z's first album. Note that Jay Z's first album, Reasonable Doubt, samples Nas's first album. Now let me get this track list to make sure I'm giving the correct information. Alright, correct. First track, Can't Knock the Hustle, taken from the album Reasonable Doubt, right? So, what have we established right there and then? Right? No, I think not established. The first question we must ask, when Jay Z decided to sample Dead Presidents, I'm off for presidents to represent me, say what I'm off there, whose world is this, right? He samples that. He put, and that's on his, remember this is his, no, sorry, the second album. The second album. No, Reasonable Doubt is the first. I'm right. Sorry, guys. As they would say in hip hop, I'm bugging. See, I'm bugging. Sorry. So Reasonable Doubt. So Illmatic 1994, Reasonable Doubt 1996, and 1996 he samples Illmatic that was dropped in 1994 with 9 tracks. So we're looking at things album for album, step by step. This is gonna take a while, so y'all gonna rock out with me, right? Put your phone down, hook it up to the speaker, and just listen, cause we gonna go through album for album until Jay Z runs out. This is the point we're gonna get to. Which one is the better artist? We're not talking cars and businesses and money and accolades. We're gonna get a little bit into album sales, right? But we're talking strictly from an artist standpoint, artistry. Okay, so Reasonable Doubt is your favorite album from Jay. And Illmatic is my favorite album from Nas. I ain't gonna lie. That is just legendary. It's iconic. It's as I said before you joined Retro, what's good? Stop calling you Foodie now. Foodie is a thing of the past. Retro, let me tell you. The first thing that I was saying was Reasonable Doubt sampled Illmatic. A lot of people look over that. Now, remember Jay Z says, oh, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. But he says that after. But my honest belief is when he made that song, he sampled it as homage. He sampled it as respect. He didn't sample it. Well, this is just my belief, right? This is my opinion. He didn't sample it because he wanted confrontation with Nas or he didn't respect Nas. I think he sampled it because it was just an iconic album. Let me get into something real quick. I'm gonna give y'all some facts right now, right? When The Source was giving people mics for albums, there are only 15 albums that received 5 mics. Only 15. And Nas was so talented enough to get his very first album 5 mics. Nas is a different type of artist because most artists, their first album is not their best work. So for example, I believe you, Retro. I believe you, bro. That nigga was driving around Marcy bumping Illmatic. I'm telling you. That's just my belief. You know what I mean? So let me give you all the 15 albums that The Source awarded 5 mics to over the years. Only 15. Alright, hold on. Let's get it. Let's start from down here. So first of all, we have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That was 2010, Kanye West. We had Trilogy by UGK. That was 2010. We had The Naked Truth by Lil' Kim. That was 2005. We had The Fix by Scarface, 2002. Stillmatic. That's the second Nas album to get 5 mics. Stillmatic, right? 2001. Then we got The Blueprint, Jay Z, 2001. So both of them got 5 mics in 2001. Jay and Nas, right? However, Aquemini, I think it's pronounced, Outkast, that was 1998. Life After Death, Biggie, that was 1997. Yeah, you forgot The Blueprint, right, Retro? I know you forgot The Blueprint. I know you forgot that. And then, of course, 1994, Nas, Illmatic. So Nas has 2 albums that received 5 mics. Jay-Z has 1. Now remember, this is not a competition. We're looking at this from artist standpoint. We gonna get to the Black Album retro. We gonna get to the Black Album. Watch this. 1991, The Low End Theory, Tribe Called Quest. De La Soul is Dead, 1991 by De La Soul. And the last one was All One for All, 1990, Brand Nubian. You see that? So there's 15 albums. Well, throughout the prime time of the Source, which we as hip hop lovers refer to as the hip hop Bible, right? So if the Source, and we gave the Source credit. If somebody got 5 mics, we respected it. Nothing wrong with that, guy. Nothing wrong with that. Good to have you. Good to have you on the live, bro. I'm chilling. We're discussing Jay versus Nas, but in a different aspect. This is not Ether versus Takeover, right? So let's move on the first 2 albums, right? So I should have done like a tally, so we can give Nas the first round, hands down. I don't think there's any argument here. If we put Illmatic against Reasonable Doubt, there's no comparison, right? However, don't get it twisted. I am a Jay Z fan. I love some Jay Z, but we going album for album right now until Jay Z runs out, because I want people to realize there is 2 different levels of artistry here. All right. Nas in 1996 also drops with Jay Z. Well, that's what personally, that's my opinion too, Retro. That's why I'm rocking out with this discussion right here, right? So 1996, it was written. Now bear in mind, this is the year that Jay Z drops his first album too. Let me show you how close they are, right? Reasonable Doubt was dropped on June 25th, 1996. It Was Written was dropped July 2nd, 1996. So already here we have an artist that's, dropped 2 albums. Remember, well, he came out before Jay, right? But Jay was rocking in 94, but I don't think it was any album wise. But he definitely has some material out already. We move to the 3rd album. This way it gets interesting because there's a 3-year gap between 96 and 99. Nas drops I Am. Jay Z drops in 1997. Pay attention. Grab a beer, roll up a blunt, pay attention, right? You gotta follow me here. Jay Z drops 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. 8 years consecutively. I'll say it again. Reasonable Doubt, 1996. I'm going to give you the albums now. In My Life, Volume 1, 97. Hard Knock Life, Volume 2, 98. Volume 3, The Life and Times of Sean Carter, 99. The Dynasty, Rock La Familia, 2000. And I like that album. The Blueprint, 2001. The Blueprint 2, 2002. The Black Album, 2003. Kingdom Come. No, let's stop 2003. We're going to stop at 2003. 8 Summers. Exactly. Retro. Hey, you know what you're talking about, bro. 8 Summers. 8 Summers. Jay Z did that for. So you see, that's something we gotta give him credit for. So whereas Nas gave us 1994, Illmatic. 1995, nothing. 1996, we get It Was Written. 1997, nothing. 1998, nothing. And then in 99, he gives us two. We get I Am and Nostradamus. Let me see how close they are together. Right now we're researching. We're in the crates. I Am, April 6, 1999. Oh, definitely platinum. Definitely. Okay. Nostradamus, 23rd of November. You see that? April 6, 23rd of November. May, June, July, August, September, November. 6 months apart. So in 1 year, he dropped 2 albums. And I'm gonna see if this is the same year that DMX dropped his 2 albums. Well, we really in the place tonight. Hold on. DMX is dark and hell is hot. Wait, it's dark and hell is hot. Release date. May, oh, it's 98. Wait. Okay. Hold on. Let's check the year that his 2 albums came out. Flesh of My Flesh. Luke, what's up? What's up? Hold on. Let's see X's albums here. Discography. Alright. So it's 98. It was the year before. I didn't think it was the same year. That would have been a bit much. For Nas to drop 2 and DMX to drop 2 in the same year, somebody would have picked up that already. So I thought that was highly unlikely. So we had DMX that did that the year before. Maybe that's why Nas decided to do it in 99. Right? I mean, I could confuse with all these windows. I got all these windows open now. Okay, so back to I Am and Nostradamus. So I Am, April 6, 1999. Nostradamus, November 23rd, 1999. Right? So, let's take it up to 2003, which is where Jay Z's run stopped. 96 to 2003, 8 summers. Nas to 2003 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums. Yeah, that's not too bad, you know. That's not too bad. So he skipped 95, 97, 98, and 2000, it looks like. Yeah. It's Stillmatic gets released in 2001. So we have, let's start from the top. I don't confuse niggas because y'all ain't got the list in front of y'all, so I gotta be smart about this. First album 1994, Illmatic. Second album 1996, It Was Written. Third album, I Am, 99. And Nostradamus, 99. 2001, Stillmatic, one of my favorite, probably my second favorite Nas album. 2002, Godson. And then he doesn't have an album for 2003. Right? So we're taking this step by step. So we did the first album comparison, the debut album comparison, album number 1 versus album number 1, so 1994 versus 1996. We did that, and then we did an 8-year span from whenever, because Jay Z starts at 1996 and Nas starts at 1994. So we did an 8-year span, right? Let's move on 2003 now. So 2006. So this is when Jay Z, I guess, decides, let's take a break. I gave these niggas 8 albums every year, 8 summers. I'm gonna take a break. So 2004, there's nothing. 2005, there's nothing. Bear in mind, Every time this nigga dropped the album, he's talking about his last album. He's talking about he's retiring. That started, I think, around the Blueprint, 2001. I swear he told us the Blueprint was his last album. And then we got the Blueprint 2. And then he said, definitely said the Black Album was his last album. And that was 2003. So that explains the gap. So no album 2004, no album 2005. 2006 he comes back hard with Kingdom Come. I kind of like Kingdom Come. That was alright. Then we had 2007. He comes again with the soundtrack for American Gangster with Denzel Washington. That's 2007. Bear in mind, all this time Jay-Z telling people about he retires, you know. Nas has never once ever come out and said he's retiring from music. Never. I've never heard Nas say he's retiring. That's another thing. But anyway, 2009 we get the Blueprint Part 3. 2013. So after 2009, there's another 4-year gap where he probably says, you know, you're not doing no work. He deal with Beyonce, Blue Ivy, Family Man, dealing with the NFL, all the contracts he got, Ace of Space Champagne, know what I mean? So 2009, last album, Blueprint 3, and then 2010, nothing, 2011, nothing, 2012, nothing. We're gonna stop there. 2012, so bear that year in mind. So we're stopping at 2012. Let's zip over to Nas's discography and see what he was up to after 2003. Is that the year we at? Yes, after 2003. Let me just recap. Stay with me. Walk with me. After 2003, there's a 3-year gap. Jay-Z drops Kingdom Come. Remember, after the Black Album, he said he's retiring. So, 3 years, no album, no work, nothing happens. 2006, Kingdom Come drops. So whereas Nas, after 2003, decides he's gonna drop another one of my favorite albums, Street's Disciple, 2004. Double album, mind you. Let me see if any of these Jay-Z albums were a double album. I think the only double album Jay-Z did was The Gift and the Curse. Viewers tell me if I'm wrong. Going through the list here. I think that was the only album that had 2 discs. The Gift and the Curse, right? So Nas did that before him too. The double album, right? Street's Disciple. So that's 2004. Okay? Then he has a 2-year gap. So kind of like Jay, you know? Jay has that 3-year gap, 2003, nothing 2004, nothing 2005, and then comes 2006. But Street's Disciple drops the year later, 2004, so there's only a 2-year gap between his next album, Nas, which is Hip Hop Is Dead, right? We then have Untitled in 2008. Remember, that was the album Nigga, really, but he called it Untitled. If I remember correctly, I swear the album originally was called Nigga and he changed it, if I remember correctly. And then it became The N at first. That's why on the album cover, for you niggas who just started buying albums, I swear on the album cover it had the back of Nas with a whip with the N carved out in his back. Right? So the album was also referred to as The N, also, as it says here, Untitled. So that was 2008. Then there was a 4-year gap. He didn't drop nothing till 2012. Right? That's where we got, no, we went up to 2013 with Jay Z, because that was Magna Carta. Right? So in 2013, Nas has no album. So far, up to 2013, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nas has 10 albums, and up to 2013, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Jay Z has 12 albums. Right? Again, we're doing this step by step, right? So walk with me. So, 2013, Nas has 10 albums. 2013, Jay Z has 12. Bearing in mind, he told us about 12 times he's retiring. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but you see the point, right? Moving right along. Let's go to 2014. You know what? I should have done that by 5-year periods. I wasn't thinking. But anyway. 2014, Nas has no album. 2015, Nas has no album. 2016, 2017, and then in 2018, he gives us Nasir. Right? After 2013, 2014, no album for Jay Z. 2015, no album for Jay Z. 2016, no album for Jay Z. And in 2017, we get Jay Z's final album. 2017. That is almost 9 years ago. Let that sink in. 2017, 444 came out. Don't get me wrong, 444 was hard. It got some songs on there that I really fuck with, but 2017 was the last album we got from Jay Z, which means, remember, we're going step by step from 2013 to today. Jay Z has one album, 444. Are you ready to hear how much albums Nas has since 2013? Check this out. So, 2013, no album. As I said, in 2018, he comes out with Nasir, right? 2019, no album. 2020, we get King's Disease, 1. 2021, we get King's Disease 2. And in 2021, we also get Magic 1. Another double album drop the same year. In 2022, we get King's Disease 3. 2023, we get Magic 2 and Magic 3. This shit is crazy. So do you realize? Let me break it down for you. Nas has 6 albums and 2 of which have been released out of a 3-year period. So let me give it to you. In 1999, we had I Am and Nostradamus. 2 great albums. 2 albums released the same year, 1999. The year after DMX did it in 1998. Then we fast forward to 2021 and he does it again with King's Disease 2 and Magic 1. Fast forward 2 years later, and he does it again last year with Magic 2 and Magic 3. So, from 2013 to today, Nas has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 albums. From 2013 to now, Nas has 7 albums. So now we brought it up to the present day. Right? Now I've just done that. So if I was to do that by category, we would have had four different categories just now. We would have had the first category, which was the debut album, the first album release, right? The second category was the first length of their career, the first stretch. And if I remember, we took that to 2003, right? So the first legs of their career, if we're gonna call it that, right? And then we had the second leg from 2003 to 2013. Then we had the third leg from 2013 to now. Let me go back to Jay Z's list. I only give Jay Z one of those categories. Damn. It would probably be sorry. These stats are amazing. I never knew this is what I didn't research any of this prior to this show. Everything that I'm finding out now, like I never realized that Nas released two albums in the same year three times. He's three times double platinum, so to speak. Right? I did not realize that. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And I think it's fair to say that Nas and Jay Z are in a total different category now. From 2013 to now, Nas has outdone Jay Z. Big time. Big time. Let's look at the total count of albums from 1994 till now for Nas, and from 1996 till now for Jay Z. Jay Z's albums 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Jay Z has 13 studio albums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Nas has 17 studio albums. Nas has 17 studio albums. Now, the Jay Z critics would jump on here and say, oh, but he got more albums than Jay Z, but Jay Z has better material. It's not about quantity, Simma, it's about quality. Don't you dare say that. And you've never listened to King's Disease 1, King's Disease 2, Magic 1, 2, or 3. If you've never listened to those albums, you have no argument here. Your point is not valid because you don't know the artistry, you don't know the lyrics, you don't know the songs, you don't know what the albums are about. But I have listened to them. And unfortunately, there's nothing for me to listen to from Jay Z for me to compare. I'd have to use the last album, 444, which was released in 2017. 2017? 2017 was Jay Z's last album. Nas has proved he is a different type of artist. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's any other artist on the face of this planet that has released two albums in the same year, 3 different times. Nas, you are a boss. A big boss. I think before I wrap up this show, I can get into some sales. Let me see if I can see overall sales. See? I did do the research. Check out these overall sales now for both artists over the years. And of course, Jay Z is gonna win this one hands down. You know what I mean? If we were talking hit for hit, single for single, Jay Z would probably win. You know? In my eyes, hit for hit, single for single, I don't think Jay Z would win. But in most people's ratings, Jay Z is probably considered a better hit maker than Nas. But for me, who is a real hip hop lover, who's not just looking at hits, who's looking at albums, subject matter, content, maturity, as I grow, I'm growing with these artists, Nas got it, hands down. hands down, easily. And it's easy to compare because Jay Z has no material from 2017, to whereas Nas has continued to release albums. Okay, we didn't get an album this year, but maybe next year Nas might drop another album, him and Hit Boy. You know what I mean? So if you haven't listened to those albums, I strongly suggest you do, especially if you're not into the modern day hip hop, such as the Little Dirks and you know the Cash Cobain, and if you're a more old school listener to hip hop, but you would still like to listen to something fresh instead of going back to listen to the Chronic or going back to listen to All Eyes on Me, pick up Nas's new albums, right? Pick up Ice Cube's new album. That shit is fire. Ice Cube's new album is hard. I skipped one song on the entire album. The only reason I skipped that song because I found it was too fast for Cube. I didn't like the rhyme scheme. I didn't like the beat. I was just like, okay, I'm not feeling this one. Gotta keep it moving because I got other things to listen as a DJ and now a host of shows. I got other things to listen to. So if I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna move on right away. But for the remaining 17 tracks on Ice Cube's album, that shit is fire. Fire. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the show, but just before I do, I'm gonna give the final album sales for Jay Z over the years and the final album sales for Nas. This would be, I think, the last category. If I was to categorize each segment this evening, this would be the last segment that we definitely know Jay Z's gonna win, right? Jay Z sold over 45 million 90,227 albums. That's a lot. 45 million. And 40 million of that was in the United States. Nas has sold 20 million albums worldwide, and 12 million of that was in the States. So as you can clearly see here, right? In their prime, Jay-Z was probably definitely outselling Nas. But as when I started this comparison, this versus, it was more from an artist standpoint, not from sales, not from what they're doing now, and Nas in his crypto and Jay-Z in his champagne. No. Albums, artists, as artists, it's fair to say that Nas has outdone Jay-Z. If you're just joining and you wonder what I'm talking about, you'd have to go back and listen to the live. But the breakdown makes it very clear, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, the opinions of powerful teachers, right? And I am telling you, Nas has outdone Jay-Z. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at the last 10 years. The last 10 years, he has outdone him. The projects have been, not all of them are really, really good. I wish I could go into which ones are good. Let me see if I can take a look real quick. And I can tell you the ones that are most noticeable. The ones that are the hardest. So I'm going to tell you right now, King's Disease 1, Blue Band's Car 85, 27 Summers. Okay, Blue Band's 1 is good. It's okay. It's okay. I give that one an okay. King's Disease 2, you get a reminder of these tracks. Death Row East, 40 Side, EPMD 2, Moments, Nobody with Lauryn Hill. Hard. King's Disease 2, I would suggest you go and take a listen, right? There is no way, in my opinion, that Jay-Z in this modern time could release an album like King's Disease 2. And that's not just because I'm a Nas fan, that's because I'm a hip-hop fan. You know? That 444 shit was borderline whack. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh there. Nah, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. But it wasn't the Jay-Z we were looking for OJ's Story is the hardest track on there, on that 444 album. But it can in no way comparison to King's Disease. Compare, sorry, to King's Disease 2. Let me pull up one more so I can give you a reminder. You see, these albums, they came out so fast. I don't even remember, the specifics of each one. So I'm pulling up each one as I go along. Magic 1 had tracks like Speechless, Me, Joe Black, Ugly. Okay, Magic 1 was okay. Bear in mind, Nas has a new album set to be released with DJ Premier. DJ Premier and Nas are supposed to make a new album. So in 2025, Nas is gonna have 18 albums. 18. You're talking about a real poet, a real artist here. King's Disease 3. Tracklist, Ghetto Reporter, Legit, Michael and Quincy. King's Disease 3 wasn't so hard. Remember, this is just my opinion, right? If I was gonna tell y'all which Nas album to listen out of the last 4 years from 2020 to now, again, I say King's Disease 2. Let me check Magic 2. I think Magic 2 is the one with Blue Bentley. No, it says Magic 3. I would say Magic 3. Let me say Magic 3. Magic 3. Fever. No Tears. Never Die with Lil Wayne. Sitting with My Thoughts. Blue Bentley. This shit is fire. If you have... So we're gonna say King's Disease 2 and Magic 3. Simmer's advice. If you want to hear the modern day Nas, real hip hop, hard bars, and you're a grown adult like myself, right? Who's not gang banging, not selling any weed, not selling any dope, right? Living a regular 9 to 5 as a family man trying to make it. If you're that guy, right? Listen to King's Disease 2 and Magic 3. I'm gonna end with that now, right? Bar for Bar TV, Hip Hop Thursdays, boy, I've enjoyed this. But you can see the kind of shows that I want to have going forward. If you're just an average hip hop listener and you just listen to the hits, that's fine. But every now and then you might feel a little lost, and I try to take it slow. I try my best to give background information leading up to my topics, so to speak, before I just jump into them. But you would have to be a listener of hip-hop to understand these albums that I ran through tonight, to understand when they were released, to understand that it takes an out of the ordinary artist, an above average artist, to release 2 albums in the same year. And we're talking about a guy that did it 3 times. So you don't know, simmer, checking out Hip Hop Thursdays. It's been a pleasure. Retro, big up yourself. Luke, big up. Let me see who else is on the live tonight. Andrew, big up. The whole of the UK, big up. Aldi fans, big up. Yeah, man. Melody Black Eye, they foreign, big up. Look out for Bar for Bar TV in the Bronx very soon. March to be exact, coming up. We're done now. It's been a pleasure this evening. Simmer signing off. Big up for all the likes. I appreciate it. And I don't come on here and ask for likes and ask people to subscribe. I think it's begging, and I don't beg. It's not in my nature to beg. So you never hear me say like this, like that, and subscribe. It's not part of the channel, right? If you like the content, you know what to do. People have been on YouTube long enough now, they know what to do if they're interested in more. So, it's been a pleasure. Simmer signing off. Peace, guys. One love. Melody Black Eye, big up all my kids. Mom, don't know. Sis, bro. Hip Hop Thursdays. Come on. Listen to that cue. Listen to them Nas albums.